Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys a brand new Pokemon Sun and Moon video discussing Eevee and the Eeveelutions and how they pertain to the Alola region and Pokemon Sun and Moon. We have reason to believe, and I have some information in this video that is going to show us that there's probably not going to be any new Eeveelutions in Sun and Moon. However, there may be something way different and way cooler, so stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoy this video, of course, show your love in that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new for daily Pokemon content, especially once Sun and Moon comes out. I post 2 videos every single day. So let's take a little bit of a road trip here to kind of get the backstory for Eevee. Red and Blue was released about 20 years ago, and Eevee was one of the fan favorites instantly, having its DNA manipulated by different stones, the Water Stone, the Thunder Stone, and the Fire Stone, to give us Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. 3 awesome Eeveelutions with very interesting type distributions, or stat distributions rather, and I think the fans wanted more. So Gold and Silver comes out, and bam, Night and Day is introduced in Gold and Silver. The first time we have daytime mechanics, and of course Umbreon and Espeon are also introduced, Pokemon that evolve by that method, level up with max happiness at nighttime and daytime. And I think people were still excited for more Eevees, but then you jump into Ruby and Sapphire, and unfortunately there was no more Eevees, so little Eevee was left, but there was still 5 Eeveelutions that were used in Ruby and Sapphire that were super duper awesome, and people might have thought maybe, hey, this might be the end of the Eeveelution trend, but no, Diamond and Pearl comes out and they release 2 more Eeveelutions. We get Glaceon and Leafeon, 2 awesome Eeveelutions, leveling up by the Icy Rock and the Moss Rock. That'll get you these 2 Eeveelutions, and I think people were so stoked about these 2. I personally love these 2 designs, and it looked like Game Freak and Nintendo were going to cover pretty much the whole slew of the type pyramid, basically giving you all these different Eeveelutions. But Black and White rolls out, and again, similar to Ruby and Sapphire, there was no Eeveelutions, so we were led to believe that maybe that might be the end of them. But no, X and Y comes out, and it's been kind of a back and forth here, so that might be a trend to kind of focus on. But Sylveon comes out with the introduction of the Fairy type, which was really, really neat. A lot of people speculated what type Sylveon would be when it was first revealed, and of course it ended up being confirmed to be Fairy type, which was a new type never seen before. So here we are, all these amazing Eeveelutions, and props to the artist for this. I'll put this in the description, of course, but props to the, all these Eeveelutions, Dragon and Bug and Rock and Ghost and Steel and Flying and Fighting and Poison and Fighting, and even a normal version of an Eeveelution. All these amazing potential evolutions for this Pokemon, and we haven't seen them yet. So that gives us the opportunity for the Alola region, of course. Sun and Moon, what are we gonna get out of Eevee and Pokemon Sun and Moon? Are we gonna get that Dragon type Eeveelution, which would really balance out the Fairy type and give us all the original special type Eeveelutions? Or are we gonna get something else? Or are we not gonna get anything at all? Well, there was a trailer that was released actually a few weeks ago, and a viewer of mine brought it to my attention that this clip from the trailer shows Eevee in the Pokedex with 8 Pokeballs around it. And the Pokedex shows what Eevee evolves into, and you can actually see from this graphic here, unfortunately there's no extra Pokeballs for Eevee's various evolutions. We've got all of them on the screen right now, leading us to believe that there's probably not going to be an evolution for Eevee in Pokemon Sun and Moon. However, wait, there is more! Thank you, my friend. We've got the Alolan forms here, which were just released a few days ago. We saw Executor with an Alolan form turning into a Dragon type, Ninetales evolving, of course, transforming into an Ice type and a Fairy type when it finally evolves, and Sandshrew and Sandslash also evolving. And we know that there's rumors to be a lot of other Alolan Pokemon, specifically from Gen 1, including things like Abra, a bunch of different Pokemon, Doduo and Rattata and things like that. So what does this mean? Does this mean we are gonna get an Alolan Eevee form? I don't know, but let's look at all the different Eevees, the different Eeveelutions, and the different types. And then when you take away the types that have already been used, you're left with quite a few other types, exactly 9 other types left. So is it possible that Alolan Eevee is going to turn into a different type, and the subsequent other 8 Eevees are going to change into the other 8 types that are available? Can you imagine if the regular Eevee became a fighting type, and then the other Eevees became dragon, like Sylveon becomes dragon, and maybe Umbreon becomes poison, and maybe Espeon becomes ghost, and maybe Glaceon becomes steel? I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I might be kind of stretching a little bit here, but who knows, man? If we have a Fairy Ice Ninetales and we have a Dragon Executor with a very large neck, anything is possible at this point in time. So I need you guys to let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this. Do you think there will be an Alolan type Eevee, and how disappointed are you in the fact that there probably won't be a regular Eeveelution as we know in Pokemon Sun and Moon? I think our only hope now is for the Alolan forms of Eevee, which I personally think would be absolutely wonderful, because I would love to see a bug type Eevee, a flying type. I mean, so many of these would be really, really awesome, as you saw from the slide earlier, how neat they were. I really, really dig Eevee, and I love the Eeveelutions, and I'm hoping they do something with this awesome Pokemon to make it neat in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Again, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're new. If you haven't done so yet, definitely check out my top 5 Alolan forms. I talk a little bit about some of the top 5 Pokemon from the Kanto region that I would love to see in the Alola region with a new form, a new type, including potentially Crystal Onyx and even a flying type Diglett, which could be pretty interesting. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan, also by aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.